Well, hello there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Luke.
And in today's video, very excited to talk about the new Disney Plus show, Hawkeye. If you can, like and subscribe, comment down below, share your thoughts, and we'll do a summary and then I guess do a positives and cons about what we like about the show for the two episodes, and then do kind of where the show can possibly go, and then I guess kind of do we like the show, how do we like the show compared to the other Marvel shows. So I guess I'll do the summary. Basically, we start off with Kate Bishop when she's a little girl. And then it's 2012 and the first Avengers is starting. So she's in her house getting a conversation with her father. And then the invasion has started. And then we get to see the cool battle from Avengers, and then she sees no other than Hawkeye. And then it makes sense because Hawkeye basically saved her life and her mother's life, but unfortunately not the father. So we didn't see the father pass away, we just assumed that he died. And then we get this montage scene when we basically see Kate Bishop train throughout the years from 2012 to Avengers Endgame, and now we're basically at present day, and then we're seeing from the trailer the performance, the musical of the Avengers, and Clint. Hawkeye is there, not too happy with how the performance is going because they're not paying too much respect to Hawkeye in the play. And also some decent memory to Black Widow, and then he gets some post-traumatic stress disorder and has to leave the play. And then, yeah, his family goes to the Chinese restaurant, has a nice conversation. Yeah,
so that's kind of what happens in the first episode with, there's a bit more to it, Kate, she's like gets expelled from college, and then she comes back to live at home. Her mother's now got a new partner. He's a bit of a shady character. He comes from a line of wealthy family, and then her mother is obviously wealthy from inheritance from her passed away dad. I know she's a bit suspect in what's going on, and then she uncovers kind of like an underground auction where they're selling off like weapons and things from like the Avengers. Like one of them, for instance, is Ronan's sword, and there happens to be Ronan's suit there. That gets kind of hijacked and robbed. She then takes the suit, and then from there on, she kind of is out and about and seen wearing this Ronan suit, and starts speculation that Ronan is back. Clint, being Ronan, at some point, he sees this on the news, and he now feels obliged to try and work out what the hell's going on. Why is someone dressed as Ronan and out doing stuff again? So that's how him and Kate Bishop come to meet, which happened in the first episode. I thought that was maybe going to be later on through the season, but we got that pretty early on. And then they start to deal with a few sinister characters wearing tracksuits.
The tracksuit mafia.
Yeah, so they got to deal with them. So basically people want Ronan dead, but they don't really know who Ronan is. They think that Kate Bishop is Ronan. Clint knows otherwise, but Clint's caught in this predicament where he needs to save this girl and then also
protect his family.
Yeah, protect his family and try and get rid of this Ronan suit once and for all, because he wants this part of his life just to disappear. So a few cool things happen throughout the next episode relating to that. But so we've got Kate Bishop and Clint are in kind of this awkward predicament with the tracksuit mafia, where I don't know, Clint's decided to kind of dob himself in with them to get caught, and I don't know what he's hoping to gain from it. But he doesn't seem to be too fazed by the situation. Kate comes in to try and save the day, only to also get caught up in the predicament. But again, neither of them seem to be too fazed about what's going on. But the episode leaves us at the end with cliffhanger of what's going on with them. So from that, what have you thought about the first 2 episodes so far?
The positives, I like the dynamic between Clint and Kate Bishop. I think they work really well together. I think Hayley Styles was definitely a great casting choice, and I think it's definitely a great combo to have as Clint's getting a little bit older, and Kate's kind of that new tool or someone trying to want to learn from the person that basically saved their life, but Clint's gave up a lot. Like, he's basically wearing a hearing aid and he's done. And I think that dynamic really works. I think that setting in Christmas, it really gives the Christmas vibe. I think it really works for the show. And I think that it's more ground level, I think works as well. Depends who the villain is and how it kind of goes, but I think these 3 things make it a good show. But I think one of the negatives is that will the dynamic between 2 of them get annoying? We'll see how that goes. And I guess we just saw Loki, and it's kind of a nice break to have it more ground level. But the negative is that we just saw Loki, and that was a great story for world building, and it depends where they take Hawkeye, but we'll see how that goes.
I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. It was a show. Once I saw the trailer, I came very excited about it. There's not enough information yet in the first 2 episodes to really work out where it's going, but they were enjoyable to say the least, and I think it is going to build to something quite good. It's not going to be on that epic proportion that Loki was. I think, as you said, it's going to be a bit more smaller, grounded, just a simple handing over of the mantle kind of thing. But I think I don't think it's going to set it up for future movies, but I just think it's going to be it's just going to be a nice little story, like its own little limited series with a bit to it, or maybe it moves on beyond a limited series. Maybe Hawkeye with Kate Bishop taking over, maybe it just becomes a TV series or something that gets a few seasons. I don't know, but I think it was good enough. As to what's going to happen next, I don't know enough about these characters to make speculations. You mentioned earlier you think it might be kind of Kingpin, what you've read.
That would be my guess of who the villain's going to be, because the crime underworld in Daredevil, that Kingpin was the main, so they might cross between those areas. We'll have to wait and see. That's the theory at the moment, that Kingpin is the one that's in charge, and it's all going to lead up to him, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I really don't have any ideas what it could be. I would have been thinking it's obviously something to do with the underground and more of a mafia based thing, which is a nice change. Sometimes we don't need the villains to be, dealing with time or have crazy powers from outer space. Sometimes just that local kind of level of villain is quite good. So that's what's making me quite excited about it. And so I'm really enjoying Hayley Steinfeld as a character. She's a great actress, so I think they're doing a good job with it so far. I'm guessing the next episode we're going to see them probably get out of this scenario pretty easily, or maybe they get rescued by another guest appearance. I don't know where it's going, but wouldn't be much of a show if it ends there. And I guess we're going to get some kind of insight into who the villain might be by the next episode.
Yeah, hopefully.
have you got any other discussion points or nitpicks or something you've seen from the 2 episodes so far?
Where did you have any favorite moments or any things that you found too easy? Like, for example, when Clint was trying to get into Kate Bishop's hotel room, he just seemed to, like, he's Avenger, he's a famous person, but he just did it easily and no one recognized him. What's your thoughts about that, Sam?
I guess we have to assume that maybe not everyone knows who he is, or because he does wear a suit, like he just looks like a normal guy. Maybe when he hasn't got the suit on, people just don't recognize him. I guess that's the part of what we got to assume, or maybe in a world where the superheroes everywhere, people just don't care anymore. They're like, oh, cool, being a superhero could just be as cool as being like a sportsman. They're like, oh, whatever. We see him all the time. It had definitely its funny moments in it.
Yeah.
I think playing on the idea of him and his hearing and the PTSD is going to be a really cool touch to this show. I don't really have any nitpicks to it. It's just, they're 2 set-up episodes, so it's hard to really dislike what they're setting up so far. But I think it's cool how they integrated. We saw from the first Avengers movie, and we saw it from like another perspective of someone being in the hotel or their apartment and seeing what's going on, and the after effects of someone dying because of it. And you can see why she wanted to become Hawkeye. Because you're like, well, why she took up archery? Because she saw Hawkeye save her life, so he became a hero. So I think it's a really cool story. I think it's building to something quite nice.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer between Hawkeye or Clint or Kate Bishop?
I'm leaning towards Kate Bishop just because Hawkeye was never a character that I understood why he was in the Avengers. To me, he just never seemed worthy of being there. And he is in this show still even a bit arrogant and up himself, which is can be a frustrating point. So where Kate Bishop, she just seems like fun, she's passionate, and she wants to make a difference. And I think that's what I like about her. What about yourself?
I think because we have had more development, Clint, but it's a very weird dynamic because it's the Hawkeye show, but feels more like the Kate Bishop show. So it's very, very mixed in that way. I would say maybe Kate Bishop because I do think Hawkeye is a better character, but I just feel like he's just sick of being a hero, and it's like, well, you kind of understand that, but, he just wants to look after his family, but it's an interesting dynamic what they're going through.
I think it's a cool way of handing down or handing over the mantelpiece where we didn't get that with Captain America passing it on to Falcon.
Yeah.
Because he passed away. So it was cool that we can do it with Hawkeye. And the fact that he's not someone so major, you go, like if Thor handed down his hammer to someone else, like, one, it's probably not possible, but 2, he's too big of a character. I think Hawkeye is kind of, like a side character. And I guess we kind of saw in the Black Widow movie that she kind of did hand over the mantle, like her sister could take over as the new Black Widow, even though fairly certain she's a villain. But she has the ability, and we got to see that in the movie. So it's a nice handing over of changing of the guard.
And do you think we'll see Black Widow's sister in one of the episodes, since at the end of Black Widow in the ending cutscene, Val showed her the photo of who killed your sister, even though it didn't go down like that, but
I think we definitely will. I actually forgot about that until you mentioned it then, that was one of the end credit scenes to that. And yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw that, I was like, well, that's going to be the focus of Hawkeye. So I think there's our answer as to who the villain's going to be, or what the major issue, like the major
conflict.
The major conflict in the show is going to be that, I think, between Natasha's sister and Hawkeye. but there may also be a villain as well, because I think ultimately she won't be a villain. She will learn the truth and have respect for Clint.
Any favourite moments or scenes in the 2 episodes? I know one comes to mind for me.
Maybe when she was telling him that some people refer to her as the world's greatest archer, and he goes, "Oh, who?" And he goes, "Are you one of those that say it?" And then later, when they're getting attacked by the Molotov cocktails, she shoots from way further back in the apartment, and she's like, "Oh, I told you I was good." So I guess that kind of playing on the fact that she's actually really good at what she says, and trying to prove to him that she actually is like extremely good. What's your moment?
Probably in episode 2 when we get Clint going to the crossplay. You know how people do crossplay battles.
The Ryla, the real life action role playing thing.
Yeah, it was funny how he's like, "Oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that?" And then he goes like, he's clearly better than everyone, and it's like he has to give effort, and then the person has the thing, the suit, and then it's like, "I'll give it to you if you let me win," and then Clint's like, "Well, I defeated Thanos, saved the universe," and then he lost the battle.
It was a funny moment. That was kind of cool. They added it. I don't know what it adds to the show. I just think they wanted a cool way to get the suit back. So it was just a cool way of adding it in. And I like it. I dislike it. It was just, they could have picked heaps of other scenarios. That was just a funny one.
So where do you see the show going? It has 4 more episodes to go. I kind of wish it was longer, actually. Like, I kind of wish, Falcon the Winter Soldier got 6 episodes, Loki got 6. I kind of wish Hawkeye got maybe 8 or something. I don't know. It just feels like...
Considering we've seen 2 already, it feels short. I feel like it's going to be over before we know it. But as you said, those other shows only got 6, so maybe what makes this special?
Don't know. Where do you see it going with 4 more episodes to
Well, something's got to happen soon. They've only got 4 more to play with. I think we might get introduced to the Black Widow's sister this episode, I think. If I really think about it, I think that's what's next.
And I guess comparing it to the other Marvel shows at the same point, I think Loki's like number 1 still, because it had that mystery, like you wanted answers. How would you say it's compared to Wanda and Falcon the Winter Soldier? Because I feel like all 3, and you could argue for each show just depending on what you like more.
I think Loki is ahead because it had several mysteries.
Yeah.
By the end of the first episode, we knew who the TVA were. So we got that mystery. We didn't know everything about them, but we're like, oh, this is where he's gone. This is what the TVA do, and you're a variant. Like we got so much information in the first episode, we were then hooked, but we knew there was so much more to discover.
Yeah.
Falcon the Winter Soldier, I felt was kind of, after a few episodes, like, what is this show about? Like, really, where is it going? And then WandaVision was a mystery almost the whole way, but each episode was its own unique fun. So I don't think it's set up as well as those other ones, but they've all had different, I felt that Loki was kind of out of the gate fast, and then it slowly increased to the peak. I thought Falcon the Winter Soldier was kind of like dullish the whole way, and then we kind of at the end got a big, he's got his new suit. And I thought WandaVision was kind of like, wow, like we didn't really know at all what was going on with WandaVision the whole way. So hard comparison, but ultimately it comes down to how it finishes, doesn't it? That's the thing that matters the most. But if you were to, after 2 episodes, compared to all the other shows, Loki would be the one that have you the most hooked.
Yeah.
WandaVision was the one that was the most surprising. I was like, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. But a lot of people thought it was crap after a few episodes.
Yeah.
Where I was like, wow, this is really different. Falcon the Winter Soldier was like, wow. Yeah, like I still don't like it that much. And then this is, I think I'm more excited about the idea of someone new being introduced into the universe. So that's how I feel about it.
And does What If even join the conversation?
What If was really, really good, except for the fact they then ultimately linked them together. As individual episodes, What If's a really awesome premise, but now they've made it work. They managed to ruin a good thing, and they might recover it. Season 2 might make it a lot better. But I like the premise they originally had was enough to get you hooked, really. But they did what they did.
So do you see Hawkeye's hearing or anything being a factor? Because why would they? It makes sense that it happened to him, but do you see it becoming a factor? Just he has to wear his hearing aid, or do you think eventually he won't have his hearing aid and that'll be important? Where do you see that going?
It's either nothing or it will be important, like you said. But I feel like maybe they might be in a situation where, I don't know, maybe something to do with sound is used as a weapon, and because he happens to be deaf, it doesn't affect him. Maybe that's where it's heading, or there's a flashbang or something that doesn't affect him. I don't know what their thought is, but it's either that or we're just looking into it and it's nothing. But I'm leaning towards it's probably going to be nothing. I think that's just a way of showing that he's old. It could be just as simple as that. I don't really have any more questions for you. I guess we've covered it. I'm waiting to see what happens next. We've got a new episode in a few days.
Okay. Well, thank you for helping, Luke. Hope you enjoyed the video. Episode 3 is coming out soon. Hope you all enjoyed that. See you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Let the force be with you. Bye-bye.